today's video, we're going to be using a custom firewood box to move this firewood over to the woodshed, and we'll do a little talking along the way. Stay tuned. So normally I wouldn't move firewood that's already been stacked, but this wood has been here for over 2 years now. I think it's been about 2.5 years, and the wood in the woodshed is already seasoned, ready to go. So I don't want to put any fresh wood in the woodshed because then it's going to block my other wood. So I'm going to put this seasoned wood in there to add it to this coming year's burning wood. So while I'm throwing the wood in, let's do a little talking. What is special about this firewood box? Because I've showcased it in other videos you may or may not have seen, so I'll link those at the end of this video. So basically this is just a wooden box that I made. It goes in the forks of my Coyote, and it allows me to haul much more wood at a time than you're gonna fit in your standard, front loader bucket. For example, this box is 6 feet wide, 42 inches deep, 30 inches high. So if I do 2 rows of wood, level at the top here, it comes out to 50 cubic feet of wood, which is like 0.39 cords. So over a third of a cord, or some people might say face cord. So it's over a face cord of wood at a time. In comparison, my bucket is gonna hold maybe somewhere around 15, maybe 18 cubic feet. So less than half the amount of wood this box is gonna hold. This pile is mostly all red and white oak, which, for those unfamiliar, oak is one of the woods takes forever and a day to season. Depending on what chart you look at, oak can take anywhere from 2 to 4 years. Some people will tell you 4 years for white oak. Some will tell you 2 or 3 for red oak or white oak. It all depends on how good it seasons and where you stack your wood. Nice stuff. So a big advantage to this style box, aside from the amount it will hold, which is the biggest advantage, I also use this box a lot as a work platform to pick myself up, whether I'm doing something in the house. Maybe I'm changing a light bulb that's high up, maybe I'm cleaning out a dry vent for my clothes dryer, maybe I gotta power wash the siding, maybe I gotta do hang Christmas lights, maybe I gotta cut a branch on a tree that's higher up. I use this box a lot to work out of, and it makes a great work platform. It's nice and flat, it's big. You can put all your tools in there with you. It's much more comfortable and safer than using a front loader bucket to work out of. For anyone curious, this box does dump. It actually has safety chains. You can see right here. You can see this is a safety chain on both sides, one there, one over on the other side. That gives me the ability to dump the box just like you would a regular loader bucket. I would say if you're going to use a box like this, make sure you match the size of the box to your tractor. Kind of figure out what the box full of, say, cordwood is going to weigh, and match that to your tractor's lift capacities. As far as your front loader goes, my tractor will pick up about 2,800 pounds full height, which is 9 feet. So even full of wood, I know that my Coyote can handle this. So if you have a smaller tractor, obviously you're going to want a smaller box. And you also want to make sure that your counterweight in your back is plenty sufficient to offset the weight of this box, because if you don't have filled tires and something on the 3-point hitch, you're going to end up doing some nosedives. My 3-point hitch, for example, has a weight box on it filled with concrete. Then I have a few weights bolted to the side of it. Probably weighs somewhere around 900 to 1,000 pounds. And I also have filled tires with rim guard or beet juice. I believe is around 500 pounds per tire. So, I probably have somewhere around 1,900 pounds, I'm going to say, of rear counterweight, and that's going to offset this box. That's kind of a good rule of thumb. to go by is whatever the front weight is, you should have a similar amount of weight in the back, give or take. And I could probably even use more weight. My 3-point hitch is rated to pick up over 3,000 pounds, so I really should have even a bigger kind of weight in the back in the 3-point, but because I have the filled tires in addition, seems to work out all right. Another advantage of using a box like this that I think is you can easily tell how much wood is in the box. If you fill up a bucket, you know the heaped capacity of your bucket with your owner's manual, but the wood sticks out quite a ways. So how do you really know how much wood's there? You really don't. Whereas this box is a nice square object, has square, straight sides, and it's easy to measure the amount of wood. Like I said, I know when I get 2 rows in this box that I have right around 49 and 50 cubic feet. So it's easy to kind of calculate out how much wood you've moved in the course of one box or even all day. Whereas a bucket, you're kind of guessing how much wood is in there. I know to some people this might seem like a waste of time. They would probably just say to throw it in loose, why stack it all these times and handle it more than you have to. But if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I just enjoy moving firewood, the whole process of making firewood. It's relaxing, gives you some alone time to think about life, ponder different things, and I just enjoy it. I know for some people it's too much work or they wouldn't do it, but I've always enjoyed doing firewood ever since I was a little kid with my father and my brother. So to me, it's not a big deal. Let me know in the comments your favorite way to move your firewood, but I have to say this box is probably one of the favorite ways that I've ever used. I've done pretty much every way you can think of. I've used loader buckets, I've used trailers, truck beds, wheelbarrows, carts, custom boxes like this, and I think this is my favorite way. We're starting on the 2nd row now. Almost there. Another thing I really like about this box is these built-in tool holders that I made. These are just pieces of regular pipe, but that enables me to bring all kinds of different tools deep into the woods on excursions, such as pickaroons, cant hooks, axes. I could hook chains in there, anything I want. Because when you're deep in the woods, a few hundred yards or more, you don't want to have to keep going back and getting tools that you forgot. On the other side of the box, it might be hard to tell, but there's actually a slot, so I can put my chainsaw bars in that slot and carry 2 or 3 saws with me that go as well. Let's go bring it over to the woodshed. So for anyone curious as to what this weighs, you could do the math. A cord of seasoned oak is around 3,500 pounds. This is 4/10 of a cord, so if you took a tenth of 3,500, that would be 350. Times 4, that would be 1,400 pounds is what this wood should weigh. Then of course you got the box and the fork, so you're probably talking somewhere between 1,700 and 2,000 pounds all told that the front loader's picking up. So it's definitely a good weight. And like I said, the back weight, the total counterweight I have, the ballast, everything is about 1,900 pounds. So it's a good offset of what this weighs, which is what you want if you want to be safe and not tip over and do damage to your tractor. You can see how much sunnier it is on this wood here than versus the wood. So this is going to season a lot better than it did over in the woods. But at the time that I did that stack, this woodshed was completely full, and I did not have the new wood yard yet down where the mill is. So I didn't have lots of options of places to store wood, so I made that kind of overflow pile. I also had a 50-foot stack of wood that was 2 rows deep. And then I made that little, I think it's 2 cords, that pile we're taking from right now, which is oak. That was like a 2-cord, over pile of leftovers that I needed somewhere to put it. But now it's gonna go in the woodshed and get ready for this season's burn. One box down, probably do one more. Obviously, like I said, I really like using this box. You can use other ways. This is just to give you an idea. Maybe you could incorporate it into your own firewood processing and the way you do your firewood. Firewood in general is a lot of work, and I think a lot of people will like the idea of firewood and burning wood and kind of the, either nostalgic or romantic or, whatever term you want to use. I think in thought, it's a nice thing to do, but I think a lot of people do firewood once or for 1 year and realize it's a lot more work than they want to do. So it's definitely a way of life. It's not just something you do. So we got box number 2 ready to stack, and this one's quite a bit fuller than the first one. This one probably has closer to 1/2 quart in it. So another thing I forgot to mention earlier that I really like about the box is you can pick it up any height you want, so it's a comfortable height for you to work out of versus like a trailer where you might be much lower than you would like. And also the box isn't very deep. It's only 42 inches deep, so you can reach in it easily. Whereas a trailer or a truck bed, you might have to use a tool to get wood in the front to pull it towards you, or you might have to get into the trailer or into the truck bed and bring the wood back to the back. Whereas this, you can easily reach it all at once. Well, that's gonna about do it for today's video. I ended up moving exactly half of this wood, 1 full row of the 2. This was 2 full cords when I started, now I got 1 left. And so I moved exactly 1 full cord of wood over to the woodshed, or 3 face cords, if you use that term. If you wanna learn more about the box and see more details about it, please click here. And if you're a time-lapse person and you enjoy time lapses and seeing a lot of stuff done in a hurry, go grab a cold one and click here. See you next time.